Welcome back to the Cashout Cavaliers official podcast, The Check-In. I am here with my co-host, as usual, Anton, who still doesn't
Yeah,
say
how's
anything when I do introduce him. That's crazy.
yeah,
We're on
it's
episode four, or no? Is this
yeah.
three? Wait, what episode? This is well, it is three, right?
Well,
Because
yeah. It's
it is,
if you don't count the forbidden episode
which
that
we are not talking
never got.
about, and we did not say the R words. I saw some people commenting on Twitter. It's not that R word, different R word. It's okay. I'll give you a hint. It's a country. Anyways, how have you been this last week? Cause I sure have had an
uh,
intense few days.
yeah. I've been good. I moved. I avoid homeless gaming, which is always a good thing to do.
Fantastic,
Generally.
fantastic.
Uh, and yeah, I've been watching a lot of Counter Strike and a lot of our team's Counter Strike. Some of it has been good, some of it has been a travesty, and some of it has been amazing. So yeah, excited to break it all down today.
Yeah, absolutely. From Anton there, you could probably tell this episode is going to mainly rely around. This is going to be like a cash out Cavaliers specific extravaganza episode. Because as we do want to expand the podcast, which we have started kind of doing, talking about different esports, different sports mentality. And again, we had a great episode that was sadly never published, where we talked about a lot of sports psychology and performance, what that means, sports like we would like to continue doing this, and you will see more of a range, I believe, in our future podcast. And I think we also have some exciting guests coming on. And what I would just like to say before we get into the juicy material we're talking about today, which is our team, is that if we were going to have one of our teammates on the podcast, who would you, the audience, most want to see? Would you want to see Lux talk about his clutches, Roofy be toxic, Love talk about his genius strats, Pancakes probably not talk much at all, Hulky be the hype man as usual, or would you like to see our boy Tias talk about the quick headshots he always hits? I would actually like to see a little engagement there. I because I don't know actually, because we've been talking a lot about having one of the boys on the pod. So I would just like the audience to basically decide, like, who would you guys want to see? I think that would be really cool if you could decide that.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely, because we're all about that audience influence. But let's maybe head into what has been going on this last week. And by this last week, I think we should start on Saturday.
Yeah. So last week was the open qualifiers for Bergen Games. There were two qualifiers. There were one on Saturday and one on Sunday, and it was mostly comprised of teams from the first three divisions in the Norwegian Good Game League. But there were also a couple fourth division teams and some five stacks that weren't participating in the league. And it was very interesting because you saw a lot of mismatches and a lot of very, very games that hinged on a lot of momentum. And especially since it was best of one, it was probably one of the most scariest weekends as a esports fan. And we certainly experienced it.
Oh, absolutely, and for anything, I think that's great because I think the range. What made this so exciting is that it was actually a tournament play style, right? Where it's just single elimination, you lose, you're done. That's it. And it was best of one all the way up until the semifinals. And if you win the semis, there's no final. It was just qualifying for the main event, which is going to be this year's and last year's, actually, well, this season's, we could say, biggest national CS event. I mean, most other CS like gaming events in Norway were actually cancelled for unknown, like the Gathering, which is the Northern Europe's biggest gaming event, was actually just cancelled this year and last year for uh unknown reasons. Oh well, unknown to us, anyways. We did facing up some teams, and as Anton said, there's a lot of different ranges of teams and a lot of different teams to play in a lot of different ways, and we have mostly first, second, third div. There were some other teams. There were some five stacks, but of course, five stacks aren't as organized or as good as set teams. You'd think, because on Saturday, after demolishing our first opponent in the table of 16, we move into the quarterfinals, the table of 8, and we meet a five stack called 2015 called, or Shivem linked it in Norwegian to say correctly. And Anton was convinced this was like some fourth div team that he found a profile from for a few years back, but
Oh,
that wasn't really the case. Cause hey, I believe them. But when they joined the server, we quickly realized that the team had players such as Radifaction and Croman, who and another three members. The three members of the team, the core of the team, came from Wizard, which is one of the best, not just teams but orgs in Norway. I think. Actually, shout out to Wizard. Actually, I think they're doing a fantastic job within esports in general. They're investing in a lot of sports, investing in a lot of young talents. They're doing a great job, and it was a core of three of them, with then Radis faction. And if you've been following Norwegian Counter-Strike for a while, or if you've been following Counter-Strike for a while, you will know Radis faction's name. From one event in particular, there was a series of events called WESG, which was the World Esports something, which was a national tournament. Competed in the like 7th biggest esports in the world, such as CS, Dota, League. I believe Overwatch was there for like 1 year or two, but it was basically people didn't compete their normal teams; they'd compete for their country. So like Fnatic would compete, but because they're all Swedish, and then Virtus.pro would compete because they're all Polish, and then usually like Navi and a few other teams would break down and make like Team Ukraine, etc. And Radis faction came to the, I believe, grand finals and lost to Virtus.pro in 2016, and he got the MVP of the event. So one of the best Norwegian players on the international stage of all time. Although short-lived, still a fantastic player. And Anton, wouldn't you say he showed that in the game against us?
yeah. So like to say we're beaten is kind of an understatement. It was like watching it was like watching a puppy being kicked down the road. And every time you think finally the road is ending, like there's no one to kick the puppy, suddenly someone comes out from toilets and starts kicking the puppy again. And yeah, it was rough. I'm gonna be honest. They were really I think like their plays themselves weren't super creative, which is normal for a five stack. But the fact is just they landed every shot.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
And
100%.
they came at very puggy angles, and the whole playstyle was like based around just taking one-on-one fights and winning them.
Yeah,
And the
100%.
thing is, when you have good players, and they are feeling it themselves, they kind of become like unstoppable. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's just the nature of Counter-Strike. We
Oh,
just got 2015 on.
Oh,
And
100%.
you know what
100%.
is the most funny? I remember I called them a Ready Faction a third division team, or no, I guess
Fourth
2015. I
division
called
team.
2015 called a third division team.
A fourth
on the
division
cast,
team,
because,
I
like,
believe.
yeah, because I was like, oh, I can't find them. Like they can't be first, second,
Yeah.
or third. They have to be fourth.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is, I actually tried to interview. I was studying journalism, and I tried to interview Radifaction when he was departing Face Clan.
He was
Uh,
never in FaZe Clan.
so-
You're probably talking about Croman, who stood in for FaZe Clan. Red Faction never played for
Wait,
FaZe
wait.
Clan. Red Faction played
am I
for
just,
Kingpin, then Apex, and then he played for His ex-Wizard for a few years. He played for Team Norway with Rain for one season, I believe, but it was like 17. You're probably talking about the other player playing for the team, which we haven't gotten into yet. You're probably talking about
Am I just
Croman.
majorly coping?
You might be.
Am I just like...
You might be
Yeah,
just
probably.
you might either you're just capping or you're talking about Croman, because Ratty is a fantastic player and he did end up top ranking this game. And he's also the best player. He currently plays for Apex, but the Norwegian side of it, not the Jakem team. Jakem is Norwegian, but they have an international competing roster and they have a nationally competing roster. In their national competing roster, Ratty is the best player. He's by far the highest rating. He's like a 1.4 something average rating this season. He's absolutely fucking crazy. Always has been. But
oh damn. Oh, okay, no, yeah. Huh.
But 2015 ringte.
Oh, okay, so that's why he never. Okay, so that's why he never responded to my DM.
Wait, did you actually DM Randy Faction? Did you be like, yo, you've been in Face Clan? Shit, like, give me that interview.
Yeah.
He's never been to Face Clan. You got the wrong guy, bro. You know 3 Norwegian players have played for Face Clan. You somehow managed to not message one of them.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Guys,
well, that's
if you
all.
didn't know, my background is originally from League, so
He's a bit.
it's still a learning experience.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I'm also quite I'm quite stupid, so yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. No, but I thought you might be mixing up with who I wanted to talk about next, which is on that same roster, on that side lineup. Because as some of you may know, Red's faction did play for Wizard with 3 of the other teammates. Again, they only know how to play together. But the last guy was a bit of a question mark because he hasn't really played Norwegian CS for years. He hasn't really played CS for years at any level known. Anyways, it's Croman, and to our national fans, we all know Croman as the guy that stood in for Olaf Meister when he took some personal time off and won that Pro League event, 2-0ing Astralis and 2-0ing SK in the finals. That's when Guardian has that knife kill. If you watch any ESL event now, they have like an intro event and you see like Guardian miss an op shot and he runs through a knife and like gets a knife kill on Fallen and then it like ends and it's like, oh, does he get the kill or not? Well, that train match was like Croman's peak. It was SK versus FaZe, the 2 best teams in the world at this point. I mean, excluding Astralis, who was, I mean, not dominantly the best, but still fucking good. And at that map, Croman gets like a 1v4 and a 1v3 and another 1v4. He goes fucking crazy. He stands in for all of Meister because he didn't know Rain, I believe, but I believe he knew Jakem, and Jakem and Rain have been friends since like 2012, 2013. So he's sitting for the team. And this Croman, who has played for FaZe Clan, who I haven't heard anything from for years, who was fucking crazy back in like 2018-19, was on this team. This random fucking 5-star captain stab. I think if I was going to choose like the top 10 best CS players from Norway of all time, or CSGO players from Norway of all time, both of these players would place comfortably within inside that range. Absolutely. I think Croman's top 5 player. I think Red Faction's definitely top 10. And both of them fragged. They were hitting every shot. They were hitting every act. I mean, there was no fucking question. There were a few crucial moments in game where we could have picked it up. It was like we had like a 3v1 and we still lose. Because Ratty makes a rotation around in toilets and gets us. And then Croman does the exact same play. And I think in a 1v4 we lost. Was it 1v4 or was it another 1v3? I can't remember. I think it might have been a 1v4, but Croman makes the exact same play and it just gets us again, which is, but I say that's different caliber player, because our players, the highest level they ever played on is like the very top national level, or like a mediocre-esque, it's like Northern European level, right? But some of these players have played on the very, very top of the international level. Some of these players have won top tier, like S tier or an A tier international events. So, and just comparing the experience, even when we outplayed them strategy wise, the experience these players have, and the amount of skill these players have, it's very fucking hard to compete. As we obviously we met our hard wall there.
Yeah, especially when they got two Face Clan members. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Like,
apparently two Face Clan members.
yeah,
One who's never played Face Clan, but hey, who cares, right? Hey.
it was like just his aura.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
like cursed energy just was like so strong that we like I just assumed he was Face. No, but like to be honest, in that case, like Croman owes me an interview. Just because I was mentally thinking of interviewing him, and not Reddit faction when I slid into Reddit faction's DM.
Yeah, I guess
So
again,
yeah,
you could have
it's like
chosen Rain, Jacob, or Croman. They've all played for FaZe. I don't. Rubino is the other guy that's played, but I don't think he's played for FaZe. He played for Astralis, Dignitas, and Nip as stand-in. But no, Dignitas full time. Astralis and Nip as stand-in. He replaced Device actually in a Blast event. But again, you happen to somehow against interview some guy that's never played for FaZe Clan.
yeah,
Well,
this is the number one podcast for esports news in Norway.
true.
Very verified news. We do not we we do not fact check ever
No,
at all.
all of our
It's
everything you hear here is opinionized. It is based on personal opinion or preference. So do not fucking cry if we're not. If we say like he got a 1.44 rating and you're like he actually got a 1.43 and then you fucking correct your glass. Shut the fuck up. Like honestly, guys. No, this
like,
is
actually nothing is based in reality. Like what you say, we just paint a picture with our mind, and then we just pray that it's aligned. Like actually, like Counter-Strike doesn't exist.
If
We are all,
if that was true, then we would have fucking been winning GG Liga by now and not in fucking last place after losing every fucking match 2-0. But we somehow managed to crush the best
no.
team in the fucking league on a map.
Yeah,
yeah. So
it's oh no, it's crazy. But Sunday though,
Sunday,
our boys were on fire.
our boys
That
were
was,
on fire. Absolutely.
Like first of all, we crushed a. I feel so bad for like the. I feel so bad
Yeah,
for like
it
the
was a
tentative esports. I think.
something like that. It was a
yeah.
what's it called? Because in Norway, if you're not familiar with the system, we have like the pro CS divisions, which is 7 divisions. Where first and second div is only one group, and then you have third div has 4 groups, fourth group div has more, and then it's just more and more, and it gets bigger. Like 7th division has a lot, but 6th division is fucking huge. It has like 8 or 9 groups of teams. There are like 10 groups. There are 10 teams per group. First and second div only one group, obviously, but then we have what's called the Recruit League, which is for basically just players that just want to play the game, right? They want to like try a team format, but they aren't good enough. You know, they don't have the aim or strats or skills, and usually very young players or very new players. And they have like 4 or 5 divisions with again loads of groups per division. Every group's 10 teams still. But then we also have the like what do you call it? Like Labor League, Workers League. Company League, the Company League, I think. Company League. That would be the best translation, which is, well, exactly what it sounds like. It's companies. I mean, could be literally any company featuring their own CS team, which is people that work in the company, and a lot of companies actually like what's called Equinor, which is a huge oil brand from Norway. They have like 4 teams, I believe. Which was just people from the company that are like, whoa, we want to like do something socially together, and instead of playing like company football, which has been a huge thing for years, and always same as company ice hockey or whatever else, it's like company esports. Same concept, just slightly different in the way it's brought out. And we do this in Counter-Strike. It's by far the biggest esports in Norway. So there's company league with company divisions, and most teams are fucking awful. But there happens to be 1 or 2 teams that are actually crack. Cause just randomly say like 4 face level 10s, like 3k elo happens to play in the same. Did you happen to just work for the same
side for Equinor Gaming?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like FaZe Rain is actually registered for Elkjøp, and you're just like, yeah.
Oh no.
But we did end up going up against one of these company pro teams or semi-pro teams, or proper semi-pro teams that, in our first round. And Anton, you could probably tell them about how that went.
I
And I'll
mean,
be
it
right back.
went 13-0. We crushed them really hard, and it was like I feel like the first 4 or 5 rounds the game was played seriously, but then our players realized how big the difference in skill was, so they just started to try to do like really creative angles and change a lot of things up. And yeah, and I remember like the sick craziest part was like when it was the last round. We were leading 12-2 and we became to terror. We swapped from CTT, and Matthias, he just decides like, okay, I want I want a break. I'm tired. This is too much. Like the esports life is not for me. So he just runs on B side through monster and just picks up everyone. And like and he doesn't like he gets an ace, but he doesn't like do it while like stopping move. He just keeps moving and like counter strafing at the last second, the sprinting, getting a kill, counter strafe again, running, getting a kill again, and he just like gets 5 kills that way. And it was like absolutely disgusting. And we milked it for our TikTok. We got like a few hundred views, and yeah, but then our TikTok got shadow banned, so that was kind of tragic.
On the note of that, do go look up our TikTok. It's Cashout Cavaliers. We're the same on all socials, Twitch, Cashout Cavaliers, YouTube, on Twitter, X. We're Cashout Cavs, but if you search for Cashout Cavaliers, you'll still find us. 2 words though, not one. Go follow our socials, please. We need some more social media following, and especially if you do love Counter-Strike as much as we do, tune into the Twitch streams.
If you love appeasing the TikTok algorithm, then please.
Not what I said, however, not denying it.
No,
Yeah.
but like I swear to God, it was like legit like a drug, because I had never posted on TikTok before, and I got used to like getting 1 or 2 views per short on the YouTube, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is probably and then I see like the first like 5 seconds we have like 300 views. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And especially like when we got the one clip with Roofy, it hit like 1,000 in like 2 hours.
It went fucking crazy really quickly.
But then like suddenly like the 4 videos after that just like tagged, and I see
Yeah.
like 0 views, and like my
Yeah.
dopamine, like I got addicted to TikTok in 2 days.
Oh, dude,
Like, it
no,
was, like,
dude,
that
so
crazy.
did I. Cause, bro, me and my friend, when like COVID just started, like we're talking like March 2020. Me and my friend were made like a bet who could get like TikTok famous first, and we were just like who could get 10K views on a single TikTok first. And I just, started scrolling through my Twitch channel, because at the time I used to get about 100, 200 average viewers per stream, right? I was only exclusively scream Counter-Strike. And people just randomly clipped shit. And I found one clip of me like hitting some scout headshot through a wall, no scope on Dusty, like some crazy, stupid fucking clip. And I used to be very vocal. I fucking screamed at it. But the clip stopped in the middle of my scream. I was just like, well, perfectly cut screams is a thing on Reddit. So I cut the clip with that. After an hour, I had like 25K views. After 24 hours, I had 100,000 views. And then it didn't get a single view for like 6 months. And then suddenly, like 6 months later, it randomly got like another 20K. So I have like 140K TikTok clip that I posted instantly. So did win the bet. However, my friend now has, I think, 40 million views on TikTok. On like 6 TikToks. So he because he just started studying the fucking algorithm. So you just lose. So I think that addiction to views. I mean, famous streamer Ludwig, former biggest streamer world, always said the whole thing with a bigger number, better person. And that's generally what it feels like, right? And it's so easy to be like, you see the numbers just going up so like exponentially, and it's just fucking crazy. It's like comparing the Nasdaq to the like European stock markets. Like everything's overpriced as fuck.
like for me, like the moment I saw 1,000 views, I was like already like I was looking at us at the IPO, like drinking champagne, just being like, oh
Yeah.
yes, we are public and we will not end with the same fate as Face Clan, since we don't have Faction in our roster.
Which they didn't either. So I mean, it's a bit.
Yeah.
But see, this is where it got fucked up, right? No, but the issue
Yeah.
with TikTok views and TikTok following is that they're not loyal viewers and they're not loyal followers. Because what I do when I'm on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or anything like, I just scroll. I constantly just scroll. There's no fucking brain mind. I don't care about who the fuck posts anything. And the people that follow you, they just follow you because, that was funny. But same thing you see when like fucking Bryce Hall showed up to like a celebrity event, like some influencer event thing. He had like 120 million followers on TikTok or whatever it was, like, which is crazy. But then you have KSI who has like didn't have a TikTok and only had like 20 million subscribers on YouTube. People walked straight past Bryce Hall. This is in the US. People walked straight past him, straight over to KSI. But again, this guy has 6 times the amount of followers. Doesn't matter. And I think follower loyalty and how do you make those followers watch the streams, come to the YouTube, watch the podcast, subscribe to other medias? Well, you don't. It is the conclusion. It's impossible. Nobody's be able to do it. And Jinxie, to be fair to him, has been able to. He went from streaming to an average of 1 view. He streamed 365 days a year to 1 average viewer, which was probably his own stream account viewing the stream, to the next year being the biggest streamer, not in just in the world, ever. Well, in the Western, I know Chinese stream, but like biggest streamer on Twitch ever in the history of Twitch. Averaging like 120k viewers per stream, playing on an Xbox, for fuck's sake. But that's not because he wasn't just making clips. There were like so many other people seeing like, yo, this is fun, this is content. So random ass people taking a clip it and ship it for you, which people are like, well, they steal his money. No, they don't. They're actually just pushing him, and he was so different, so special that he was able to grow from this and actually convert them. But that conversion rate is really, really rare. But that's something we're trying to work on, because we're not like a lot of our, what you call them, like competitors or our companion orgs or whatever you'd call them in this space.
Yeah, our competitors. Yeah.
No, they're competitors, but they're also in some way companions, right? Because we all build up the esports space together. But we as they say, we're real different because we're taking on a different approach, and like things like just doing this podcast, which nobody else in Norway does. And this is something we will keep doing and keep expanding on, of course.
Yeah, so like our strategy is, if we can boil down to one thing, is to find a competitive niche, and then find a niche within that is not competitive.
Exactly.
And filling up that space.
100%.
Because I think, like, honestly, like if we would fight head on against even the second division teams with just rosters, we would honestly just be forgotten. I think
because everybody just do
like,
that.
And our thing is, like, the thing is, if you want to have a sustainable esports org, you need to have a fan base, and to get a fan base, you need to people to watch you. So we have actually, like, I think, like, we've done quite well in that regard. We've been active for 1 month, and we have reached 11,000 minutes watched on Twitch. Which is honestly, like,
fucking crazy. No, because I think
we
comparatively to the amount of people that I watch, just the amount of, we only have like 30 something followers, right? Compared to the amount of people who watch us, and even the amount of, we've barely streamed any fucking hours. We're below 20 hours streamed this month. That means people actually retain what we're streaming, and like view retention is top percentage high. It's higher than most. Percentage wise, it's like top 0.0001. Like, it's a ridiculous percentage, which obviously is inflated because of our we're not as big, etc., etc. People don't click through our stream because we don't find it. But still, I think it's still super impressive, because we are currently out viewing every single esport, like individual esports org in the world currently, with our numbers like that. Of course, we have way less,
mean-
way less followers and way less viewership. But when it comes to minutes compared to our viewerships and followership, our follower numbers, we're number one. So I think we're on the right path, right? I think we're doing something right. We're on the right path.
Yeah, if we are going to cherry pick our stats a little bit more, then we are almost in the top 100 according to Ghost Gamers. We're ranked 101st team in the world.
Hey, well, yeah, that's actually really funny. But Static is ranked like 112. I don't get how they're ranked behind because they have played internationals. We haven't, so I don't know how they're like.
Oh, I think it's like because they haven't put into account the Good Game League score.
No, but Static have played internationals. They played actual international events. How are we haven't?
Yeah.
So surely they should by default. But again, Static is they're not a top 1,000 team in the world. Like if we were top 100, we would be an HLTV. It's that simple. But hey.
Yeah, first division is just a number, bro.
Yeah, no, honestly, dude, what the fuck's this? Yeah, fuck that first division. For context, this podcast is recorded only a few hours before match start of our March 6th game against Static. A first division team that have been fucking rolling recently. They 2-0'd Apex, the Norwegian Apex version with Ratifaction recently. And they also won a map of the current leaders of the division. They're the only team to currently have beat the leaders of the first division in any map. So it's a very tough matchup, and we're looking forward. We'll be casting it, but again, this will definitely be out after that. This will be out the day after. So yeah, should we land the score prediction maybe? That'd be kind of fun.
Cashout Cavaliers 2-0.
Okay, I'm going Cashout Cavaliers 2-1. So how about you hit us up in the comments?
You ain't believing.
No, I just wanted us from quality fucking Counter-Strike. I'm feeling the down 12-1 and then like the 12-12 overtime type vibe.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny is that when you just have an esports org and you don't care about viewership that much, you don't stream, you want your games to be easy, right? You want to have like a 13-0 2 games easy, you go home, everyone takes a bath, like everyone's happy. But we're such rats about viewership and content that we like our ideal world is like we win one map 28-26. We win our second map. No, we lose our second map like the 26-28, and then we win our third map 28-26. That's like our ideal world.
That would be ideal as fuck, because that would get fucking viewership, dude. Like when we did like an 11-round comeback yesterday, the viewership almost doubled, which was crazy. Everyone was watching our match, which was really fun to see. But yeah, should we go just swiftly go back to Saturday and why we're playing Static today? Because we mentioned how we absolutely clapped this company team 13-0, which there were two aces in that game, one from Tias and one from Roof first. I think Roof's ace was fantastic, just well positioning. Tias's ace is just, hey, I want to have a break now. Let's hold W and then spam with the Glock, which is also fantastic.
Yeah, he just played Call of Duty. Like,
honestly,
it wasn't Counter-Strike. Like,
yeah, absolutely not.
Like, bro, like he like barely counter-strafed at all. He was just like, I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah, I know. It was fire matchup. But then next we went up against a team called Slaughter Gang, which
no, it was Pulse the Sippler first.
Oh shit! No, I forgot about them. They're kind of. Oh yeah, no, because that was actually one of our closer matches. So we went up against Pulse the Sippler, which is a mix stack from like 3rd and 4th division, I think. It was like some kind of mix stack anyway. Which shouldn't have been a very hard match, and it was. To be fair, they showed some really good promise in the start, especially I believe on their was it on their In the first
On their T
half,
side.
yes, on
Yeah,
their
yeah.
T side, they showed some good promise. We rotated off A loads of times, and they just read into us because they had a lurker on A every round. He was able to just walk out, get us from behind, stuff like that, and they got into a really good position. But then on I believe they were up 7-5 after their T side, but then they on our T side when we switched, we won every consecutive round in a row. Yeah, I
it
really
was
think
crazy.
our like, I mean, shout outs to Lofair, Mr. Love, who is our IGL. His creativity, and I say this a lot if you watch the streams. I think creativity is super important when you're IGLing because you need to like come up with strats, concepts. Because again, if you're only playing the defaults, then yeah, cool, that's gonna work against teams that don't know the defaults, teams that aren't good enough to hold defaults. But if you're going up against a team that is equal to you-ish in some kind of way, it's not going to work. But again, he was super creative with strats, and we were just like, every round there was a different default, there was a different take, and every round we just won. There was complete outclassing on that T side. But to be fair, a really good match, fantastic match to watch. But I mean, especially the CTF was so frustrating, especially for a Cashout fan, just seeing them calling the rotate off the A site, and then Pulse the Zipper just walks in. It was absolutely tilting to watch. But then that T side was pure brilliance.
Yeah, I feel like what's interesting about I feel like what's scary about playing Ancient if you're not comfortable with it is that it's so easy to just get shell shocked.
Oh, yeah.
And to just get run over because like the B side is so close.
Yeah.
The B side is so close to the T spawn, so you
100%.
can just like, if you like lose like a pistol round and then like pistol round, force round, and then an eco round, like you start to get really scared about leaving B side open. So then you start rotating 4 or 5 people to
exactly.
B, and
'Cause,
then
I mean,
A suddenly becomes free.
yeah, because you're so right. Because the standard setup is 1A, 2 middle. Well, one will play like red room or close mid, and one guy's playing donut, and then you have 2 guys over towards the B side. But if the T's just consistently have good, like they bam, smoke short, smoke long, molly, they take cave, you're fucked. You're not winning that fucking round. You either need to win every gunfight, and again, if you're going up against a team that is like Fraggins your level, you won't win every gunfight's a 50-50. That means if you need to win 4 of them to retake, you're not fucking doing it, are you? So that's why a lot of teams, what you want to do is over rotate in theory. You will want to rotate your A player into your middle, or your middle player onto your B, and you usually have like 1 lurker in like donuts or red room to hang around. But then you play the 4 people towards the B side, just to make sure they don't take it. And I think we just over-rotated a bit. And to be fair, Pulse Zippler, fantastic play from them on T side. Very good reads. They were just lacking on that CT side because they just got, again, smashed. And it's just like we talked about, because they rotate off the A site and we just hit the A site. And even when they're B, they're not stacking B with enough. They're like 2 players B. We have 5 players on B. Even if it's a 2-on-3, that's 3-on-3 left, but now the time is ticking down against the CTs, right? It's just not a round you win traditionally. So that was a fantastic game from us. Then we moved on against Slaughter Gang. Yes,
Yeah,
and
like,
we played.
I think like that was the match I was most worried about in the qualifier, because Slaughter Gang had a really good run where they went to semis on the Saturday.
Yeah.
And also like especially like since they were in the same league as us, it was really important for us to get the win
Absolutely.
over them. But then like Ancient is just our favorite map, it looks
Absolutely.
like.
It is our comfort pick by far. I mean, we do play a lot of maps. We play Overpass, we play Vertigo, and we play Anubis. And I think Overpass was our comfort pick in the start of the season. I think that's what they decided to.
I think it's such a bait, bro.
Yeah,
it's
but
such
I think
a bait.
over
I feel like all my
time,
tears come from Overpass, bro. It's horrible.
yeah, you had a rough fucking game on Overpass the other day. No, but I think our Overpass used to be our main, but I think because that's what we built up to like be our strongest map. But over time, you see things develop, and our Ancient is the best in the fucking country. Like when we're on, we don't lose, and no teams get any rounds. You saw that as against Slaughter Gang, who is a very formidable team. They have two. Well, they have a roster of good players, but they have two specifically fantastic players that are just fragging every fucking round, holding it down. And they got 13-7. And this is not the kind of game as against Paul Sisiplo, where it's just like, oh, we're down a round, oh shit, what's going on? See, decides. No, we just never felt close. This game we started T-side, we were fragging from round one, and they won like a round in between, but it never felt close. And again, winning by 6 round difference, it just never felt close. Was never even nervous during that match. Every clutch moment we won, every significant buy we won. We lost a few gun rounds, but it just seemed to not matter because we always bounced back. And I think that makes us into such a great ancient team. And especially on that T side, it seems like every round something goes wrong. Loaf has a new strategy, a new default, a new setup, and it just always works, and we always were able to hit back. Yeah. And again, clean close out on that match. And we did have a rematch against that team yesterday, which we can get into a bit later. But let's first focus on...
Do we want to get into it?
Maybe we should get into it, actually. Then we played our first and only best of 3. Semi-finals. If we win this, we qualify for the event. Which, by now, you already know we have qualified for. And you already know how the first group stage match went. We're also playing group stage on Saturday and on next Wednesday. So please follow that. That's Wednesday the 13th and Saturday the 9th. But we came against Betavost, who's a formidable opponent. Also another second div team. They have a lot of firepower, really solid backing, experienced players. Some of them are younger players. Great mix. They're one of the favorites to do really well in the league, and they picked Anubis, a map we lost against Sami just a week and a half prior, and we picked, of course, Ancient. Not a surprise there. And the Anubis match, I think we were both a bit, nervous, a bit shaky, because we haven't seen the boys play Anubis since they got dominated on their own map pick.
Yeah, like especially since like our boys were so confident in Anubis game, and they just got like shut down completely by Sami gamers. But I feel like Anubis is very interesting because like it's very T side favored. But if the T side is not confident that there's so much venom from the CT side, you have, like for example, the B side has so many angles that you can be in. And sometimes, like, you start a gunfight at the entrance of B side, and 15 seconds pass, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I've cleared those angles, and then suddenly, like, you go to plant the bomb, but there's like one random guy who's just like behind pillar or in like a very weird off angle, and he just kills like 3 of your team, and you're like, okay, it's horrible.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and but they're like our IGL, Mr. Loaf. He carried it so hard, man.
What a fantastic map calling from Loaf. I think the CT side was solid. It was good. It was very good. We did end up getting a lead on CT, but the T side and the way he called that, I mean, the set strats, sorry, from Spawn were hitting. He made mid-round calls, and them together as team made mid-round calls that went around. Like, I have never in my life seen IGLing this good. We have to talk about like Carrigan in like that one Anubis game in Cologne versus Cloud9. No, like Ancient game against Cloud9 Cologne, or like earlier Carrigan shit. Because the way he just read their fucking shit like an open book. Like, this isn't like Levi gelling, we just run through them. We're talking about like they were, every time they stacked B, we went A. They played 3A, we go B. And one round, I was sure we were fucked. They stacked 4 people middle. Util went down. They went, and our team straight through the fucking window. Water, Con, B. There's one guy on B side, and the worst part is I'm guessing because of all the util and all the noise, his team didn't even fucking realize they were going B. So he's looking the wrong fucking direction. He just gets fragged. In incredible from Loaf there. I mean, that man is. When he's calling his game, he is insane. He does not fucking miss. And again, fantastic stats from him as well that game. He did frag quite well, but I gotta say his calling is some of the most impressive things I've ever seen in any Norwegian league or national league ever.
Yeah, it was so good that like I think like even if you had map hacks where you knew exactly where everyone was at the time, it's hard to do as good of a game calling as it did.
Oh yeah.
Because even if you have the information, it's hard to make those punishes as crazy. Because like every single round we started 5-4 with an entry, and we were like in really creative spots as well. You would see like you could see like a kill on water, in middle, like lurking to B side. There was like so many duels where we just had the better angle and more and like the better prediction and that's the thing, like especially like in very in maps where like in maps where rushes are really important. It's really hard to win a round when you're one person down. It was just such a beautiful showing, and also like the whole weekend, the Matthias was just his frags were just on fire. It was crazy. He was the most highest rated player in the whole qualifier.
No, TS was on the whole fucking time. He's crazy, but I mean I've said this from when we originally signed the lineup, that I think he's one of the best riflers in the country. One of the best rifles the country could produce. He has so much potential, and I think if anyone could go international, like compete in the big leagues, I think he's definitely up there. Also because he's super passionate about the game. He's passionate about everything he does around it. If he just gets the kind of right guidance, the right assistance, I think he could become like a Jacob or a Rabino type player, which would be super cool to see. And he has struggled a bit in the good game league. But when the big matches go on again, because I'll say this right now, I think we're a big match team. Because in the league, when there's no real pressure, we're just kind of playing a league format. Doesn't matter. But whenever we're playing eliminations against, in theory, better teams, and teams that are at least as good as us, that are all like predicted to come up above us, we win every fucking time. We lock it down. And even in practice, we've been locked in against some way better teams, and I just think that's great to see.
Yeah, it's very interesting because there's some teams and players that like when they play against worse people, they are really good at shutting them down. Like I like to call them the gatekeepers. I feel like in every league you have one team that like is like middle or like high middle of the pack, where like they crush everyone below them, but they really struggle against better ones. But we are kind of giant slayers, where like we will become better the better the opposing team becomes. So honestly, us losing to Slaughter Gang last Tuesday just shows to the world that like Slaughter Gang became way worse from Sunday to Tuesday. That's why we couldn't get our bonus.
They didn't play as well.
That's our agenda.
No, the pressure wasn't on. They didn't play as well. Honestly, that's just what happened. It's just lucky that it happened, but it did happen. Hey, it is what it is, right? Yeah. I mean, it is sad about the Good Game League. We have had some terrible performances there now, but when the matches really count, when we're in the big tournaments, we're in the big leagues, we perform every time, and all players perform their best. And also shout out to our sixth man, Halky. Fantastic performance from him. He had especially one map that was just crazy. That second, the last map of the tournament, the ancient map, which we won 13-7. Again, 7 miles was the most any team got on us. We had played 3 ancient games, so we're all 13-7, and he was just running in behind them, catching every time. The moment any enemy turns, he swung and hit them in the head. It was a joy to watch. And
What I
again,
really like about
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, what I really like about Hulk is that he's a teammate who truly cares about his team. And you can really see it in his play where like it he's not afraid of doing something where like he's not afraid of entering and like messing up his KD to get the better position. He's not afraid of being more supportive, waiting, not taking the ego 1v1. Like I feel like a couple players on our team are sometimes a little bit too eager
Yeah,
to show their skills. But he's like I think it's like it's really important to have like a player that's like really grounded and like okay what I can do and I can't do and use that sense of clarity to make plays around the team and to support the team and he was really good today.
absolutely.
Not today, I mean
No, you
on
mean this
Sunday.
weekend? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think so. I think it's a nice mix because I feel like a lot of our players have. I think one of the reasons why they work so well together is because they all have a very similar mindset of the game, and they also all will play very similarly. In the way they think of the game, see the game. Hulky, on the other hand, he's your average hype man. If any of you watched like G2 or the early phase with Fox, he's like, does Fox IGL? No, he just screams really loudly. He can be like an Apex, but like not IGL Apex, but like early Apex. He's super loud. He's super confident. He's always there, which I think was probably a healthy factor, especially when they took like a hard round loss against some fucking eco they shouldn't have lost. And he's just the kind of guy you really want to be there, which is one of the main reasons why we wanted to sign a sixth man, because we understand that all of our players have like normal jobs, university, other responsibilities, personal responsibilities, and then to just have a sixth man that attends every practice, practices every lineup, every map, every setup, like it's already predetermined, which means you can in theory swap him in at any time, and then we shuffle some players over, and we still have a solid five. And I think our theory, the way we've done this, has our six man lineup has just been proven. It just fucking works. Like there are no issues with it.
Yeah, and I think like it's also yeah, it's really important to have a hype man, especially when you have after a horrible map. Like let's say for example against Static we lose 13-1. And like everyone is like already wants to go home. They don't really want to play. They just feel defeated. And like even if you're the best team in the world, you will have matches that feel like this. And it's so important to have like a player who is like, oh, okay, we will not lose. We will win. We will win because I care so much about this, and I will hype everyone up. And we are the best players in the world. Yeah, and it's one of the qualities I feel like Hulk is really shining in. And yeah, we honestly I can't wait. He's one of the signings that surprised me positively the most. I think because like I remember in the beginning we were discussing the roster, and
Yeah.
I was kind of iffy about signing a six man, but I'm really glad
Yeah.
I did it because we were like at some point we were like thinking about loaning him away to another team for like a whole season, but I'm really glad we decided to keep him instead.
Yeah, that's. I think that's one of the reasons why I was very on signing six man, because I mean a lot of teams have tried. Like Astralis had like a 9-man roster at one point during COVID, which
Oh no, bro, that's
what
like
the fuck? Then I
that's
said
horrible,
one guy,
bro.
and then another guy, then another, and then at the end you had like 5 people playing. None of them were on the main roster. They lost every game, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And then
That's like how to.
Vitality like kind of tried it for a while, but didn't work. But they're these guys who I remember. They're still all like top level professional players. They get full salaries. They live. They don't have university. They don't have any other things in their life. There's just Counter Strike. And if you do that, then of course it's your full time job. It's different. But again, this is not the case for anything below that level. That's not the case. It's not how it works. Anything if you're not competing in majors, even most teams competing in majors, that's not the case. They all have full-time jobs or studies or anything, something goes out of it. If you're not signed for like a top 15 org in the world, it's not your primary job. Then you have something else to do. So I think that I just thought that having a 6-man that works as one of the players, like he's not on the main roster. Main roster already chosen, but he still attends every practice, every game, watches every scrim. He works with the team, and he also works like an analyst outside of matches, where him and like the IGL goes in together. They look at matches, they can study some stuff together, and even just being in the call with them, like after between matches or after they play the game, to be that voice that's just like, yeah, let's fucking go, like the voice that brings them up, lifts them up. I think that's really fucking useful, and I think Hulky is a fantastic piece that's to the team, and I think he's almost irreplaceable in his role. Only thing is if if Twists from Team Liquid wants to win games again, we might have a spot for you. But if that doesn't happen, then I think Hulky is absolutely the best we can get. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm always like it's like I'm not for large rosters, but some players are just some players you kind of just salvage over as a esports as an esports owner. But yeah, and on Ancient, yeah, we just dominate as well, and
Yeah,
it's just like, yeah, it's once again, it's I think I think like in against Pulse Discipler, our T side was really good, but against Battlefrost, our CT was extremely good.
Yeah.
Like we were really good at dealing as much damage as possible before the when they executed the site, fall back and just retake. I think like Rufy did a really good job there by just soaking up as much pressure as possible, and it's honestly like even if like when you anchor a site, like even if you don't kill anyone, even if you, let's say you lose 50 health, but you buy 15 seconds for the team to rotate, that like you've done your job real well, and I felt like he did that throughout the whole second map of the semifinals.
No, I agree.
Um,
Absolutely. No question. And if anyone is curious, I actually now have a look at the maps we will be playing for today. Again, this will be posted after the game is done. So the first map picked by us is Vertigo. Second map picked by Static is Ancient. So I think Loaf has actually done a big brain there. He has picked Vertigo, so we get 3 Kurgas. I think if we pick Ancient, they don't pick Vertigo. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so basically, if we picked Ancient, they pick Nuke, which as a map we don't prac. So this is like a Loaf big brain here, because he knows they play very Ancient. So there's going to be Vertigo, Ancient, and Anubis. You said it's going to be a 2-0. I'm sticking with my 2-1. I think we lose our own map pick. I think we lose Vertigo. I think we win Ancient, and I think we win Anubis.
Yeah, okay, I see that. I can see that. Like, yeah, I think like our 2 best maps are Anubis and Ancient by far.
I think so too. Most consistent.
And like Overpass, I think like Overpass were better. With Overpass we're better against worse teams.
Yeah.
Well, like clearly better.
No,
against
I
worse
think we
teams.
crush. I think that's the map where the most safe, like just crushing opponents. Just like if we're just even slightly better, I just think we slaughter. But our T side and Overpass has been struggling. But again, that's just a point of improvement, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be exciting, and one of our big advantages going into today is that we are a no-name team.
Absolutely. We're not even supposed to be
a 0-3 second division team. Like Static probably spent 5 minutes watching us.
I don't think I genuinely don't even think they watched the demo. I don't think they've clicked our fucking profile. I don't think they care.
Yeah.
Which is why the setup is going to be so good.
And like like if like we know that they haven't practiced for us, because like if they knew, they would have never picked Ancient.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you saw, like Slaughter Gang after getting demolished by
On
us.
Ancient. Again, Slaughter Gang's
They
main
just,
map
like,
is Ancient.
insta-banned
They banned Ancient first, which we could have picked, I believe, Inferno against them. Which is their worst. They have played, but they've gotten crushed on it. But we don't play Inferno either. But I say we could have punished picked there, but as it happens to be, our map pools happen to be quite overlapping. So, but I would actually love to see. Just to wrap this up, I would love to see Loaf and the boys practice a punish pick. I'm talking about either a Mirage or an Inferno. Almost no teams play Inferno, but I know Lux specifically hates Inferno. I know Rufy and Lux both fucking hate Mirage. Which is very understandable. New Inferno is not good. But I would love them to see them play a punishment. Because right now, everyone plays Ancient, everyone plays Anubis. Anubis is not a very well-liked map, but it's still a well-played map because it's such a good team map. For scrims, it sucks, but for teams, it's fantastic. But I would love to see them prac up again, nuke too heavy, but like an Inferno or Mirage. I would love to see them add one of them to their map pool, just being able to like with Slaughter Gang, like they're scared of our Ancient, they ban it. Then we pick Mirage, we pick Inferno, and they're just like caught the fuck off guard. They don't know what to do because then they're forced to play a map where they don't even have positions because they're so scared of our main pick.
Yeah, what's beautiful
I would
about
love to see
Mirage
that.
is that like it's the first map every CS2 player like plays.
Yeah.
Well, like before it was Dust 2, but Dust 2 rotated
Bro
out.
said,
so
"What's
it doesn't-
beautiful? That's crazy. Beautiful Mirage in the same
Huh?
sentence." Sorry, now keep going.
Yeah, but like the thing is, what's great about Mirage is that a lot of people think they know it better than they actually do.
Oh yeah.
So like if you prepare like this trap pick or this punish pick, a lot of people would just try to challenge you on it, but they probably haven't played Mirage for like several months because they hate them. They hate the map, or they think like, oh, okay, I remember Mirage from a while back. Like I'm sure that I'll know all the util spots and all the rotations, everything. And it's I think like if it's kind of like if you know like it's paying a lot of dividends to be good at the map that everyone hates.
Absolutely.
Because you know that while you will not be able to get the map a lot of the times, but the times you will get the map, you will get a much higher win percentage chance of winning than if you like play maps that everyone knows. It's like in chess, right? It's like I can play the Queen's Gambit, which everyone plays. Everyone knows the main lines of. But I can play like the peanut allergy Sicilian that like
Absolutely.
the most crazy like thing that like a madman from Serbia concocted like 200 years
exactly.
ago.
Well, I think
and,
maybe a slightly better example would be like if you know your opponent is like an E4, E5 player, but you're white, you play D4 instead or like C4 as first move, then your opponent can't play the E5 move, right?
Yeah, I got legit tilted at you playing like the Dutch against me.
Yeah, I played the
don't know
Dutch and the
theory
Sicilian,
about-
the Karakan. We're having fun out
like,
here.
disgusting. But yeah, nobody beats
A
like
perk
the
defense
ratio
player
things
can't
with the
call my
perk.
ass disgusting. That's crazy. You literally play the
Oh,
perk
sorry.
defense. I've had nightmares of that like 2 nights in a row. It's crazy. Yeah. But
That's crazy.
I think that's going to finish off this episode of the check-in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will be back next week around the same time. Hope you guys will check in.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoy the match result, which again, this will probably be up tomorrow. So hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's match result. And hope you guys tune in on Saturday, where I believe Silky will be streaming the match. And then we'll be back again next week on Wednesday with our final match of the group stage, hopefully qualifying for the elimination stage, which I'd maybe go as far as say the craziest setup in Region Counter-Strike history. It's up there. It is not.
Yeah,
It is the craziest setup in Region Counter-Strike history, and I hope you'll be here to see history be made in front of your own eyes.
Hey, I've noticed like two things about you. In the like last month of us like casting together.
Yeah, what's that?
Is that the one you say absolutely
Yes.
all the time.
No, I did. Last
Like-
stream, dude, I wanted to die because I caught myself saying absolutely like 15 times in like 6 rounds, and I was just like, why?
Yeah, no, I remember I got
Why?
so thrown off by it.
No,
And
dude, I was
like, at
throwing
some
myself
point-
off because that's a term I like never use normally. Like, I don't think you've ever
Yeah.
heard me use it outside of casting, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah. No,
last
like,
stream, I don't know, I just kept repeating it, and I was just like, shit, because like, you know, because I ran out of shit to say, and usually I just automatically have a back out. But my backup this game was like, absolutely right, absolutely, there absolutely lands
Yeah.
the smoke. That fucking tilted me.
yeah,
Shit.
and like for me, I got like really nervous because of that. Because,
No,
like, I was like,
I got thrown up.
I was, yeah, I played like I started playing Counter Strike like 1 month ago, like as the org started, just to like just to try to understand the game a little bit more,
Yeah.
and. I was like, when you said like absolutely like 6 times in a row, I was like, oh okay, I must be talking out of my ass. Like he must be pissed. Like he just, he just I was like, I just want to cry, man. Like,
yeah, no, I threw myself off. I was just surprised I used it that much because, oh, you know, casting terms.
yeah, no. But the second one is like instead of upset,
Yeah.
you say setup all the time. Like it's
But
just like,
those are like different terms for different things. Like upset is like a team beating somebody with a, but like a setup is like when somebody like run a default or you have like something that happens on the map. It's a setup, right?
yeah, but you like but you like, oh yeah, it would be a crazy setup if we won against them, but it's an upset, bro. Like,
Oh, okay,
like,
bro. So we're bullying.
as you guys see,
This is just
Cashout
bullying now.
Cavaliers, it's where we
We
get the
are.
money, but we
They
don't
are
get the
racist.
grammar.
They are racist. They are all racist. We're all racist. Shut us down, please.
Yeah, we're Formula One.
Yeah.
Racist.
I'm here with a league player and I can't spell, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's yeah. This org is due to fail. Bro.
Yeah,
It's
we're
crazy.
fucked. Anyways, hope you want to sponsor us. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for watching, and we are checking out.
See you.